When it comes to divorce and family law firms, never hire on faith and hope. Do your research with due diligence. Interview a lot of different firms and attorneys. I'm talking 5 to 10, not just 2 or 3. You'll never get a feel for the diversity of competence and incompetence unless you do that. Don't be offensive in your questioning, but do ask candid and serious questions of those you interview to get an idea of the lawyers and of the office's personality and professional culture and approach to the work. Lawyers are trained to be persuasive, so don't be taken in by simply what they say or how well you perceive they say it. Most lawyers who are mediocre and incompetent can still charm you in conversation fairly well if you are not discerning. Don't hire the least expensive or even the most expensive attorney. Hire the best attorney you can afford, and if the best attorney you can afford is incompetent, then you either need to get more money for a good attorney, or you're probably better off with no attorney at all. Paying an incompetent attorney is just wasting your money. Don't base your decision on online reviews. Great online lawyer reviews are easy to fake and usually are fake. Don't hire based solely or primarily upon the recommendations of friends and family alone. Some friends or family have no idea what's good or bad, but they recommend, so to speak, people so they look smart and connected, not really to help you. Some friends surprisingly don't know a good attorney from a bad one, even if they think they do. Even when you've done your best to ensure you've hired a good attorney, it is virtually impossible to know whether you've hired a good or bad divorce and family lawyer until after you've worked with him or her for a few days or weeks. Pay close attention in those first days and weeks. Hire slow, fire fast is good advice for who your attorney is. Take your time to find who you believe, after conducting a solid investigation, is a good attorney before you hire one. In the unfortunate event you realize your attorney stinks, don't beat yourself up about it. Many lawyers succeed by being deceitful. But once you discover your choice of attorney was a bad choice, if that's the case, replace him or her as fast as you reasonably can. Don't try to reform your bad attorney. Odds are high that it won't work. Don't hold on to your incompetent attorney because of sunk costs. Your lousy attorney will only cost you more the longer he or she stays on your case. Hire slow, but fire when you need to fire fast. If your lawyer or a member of his or her staff returns your calls and emails and text messages promptly and addresses all of your questions and concerns, your good, thoughtful questions and concerns, that is, if you are the type who runs to the phone or the computer in a panic or on a whim with any and every question, having failed to do your homework first, expect your lawyer to get a little testy with you sooner or later. If your attorney or staff promptly sends you complete copies of correspondence with opposing counsel and others involved in the case, if your attorney or member of his or her staff promptly sends you complete copies of everything he or she files with the court and that opposing counsel has filed with the court and that the court itself has issued, or if your attorney or member of his or her staff sends you drafts of the motions and other documents he or she is preparing to file with the court so that you can review and comment on them and approve them for filing with the court before they are filed, and if your attorney or his or her staff reflect a desire to do their best in every aspect of their work, check in with you regularly to give you updates and to see how you're holding up, explain the legal process to you before you file your case and as your case unfolds, shows up to court on time, is clearly knowledgeable of the facts and the applicable law, and is prepared to argue your case zealously at hearings, isn't afraid to tell you when your case or elements of your case are weak, and doesn't offer or agree to do whatever you want if the price is right, and isn't afraid to take your case to trial, in other words, isn't champing at the bit to get you to agree to a quick and dirty settlement, then you likely have a good lawyer. A lawyer who delivers real value for the money you pay your lawyer. If your lawyer or his or her staff doesn't do all of these things, you likely have a bad lawyer.